These trick shots have a 1 in a million chance of happening. Like throwing a wedding ring onto my wife's finger, or spinning a ping pong ball so fast that it defies gravity. This is just one of 22 impossible odd trick shots made to impress my new wife, and to make up for the fact that I broke her wedding ring on a trick shot. This whole video started with the crazy idea to slice just the outer layer of a balloon. To even attempt it, we had to build our own dart by taping together a screwdriver, a pen tube, and the tail of a normal dart. I know, very advanced engineering. Every time we popped both balloons, resetting everything took forever, so Matthew would intentionally miss to the right, then slowly inch closer and closer to the outer balloon.
Boom! No way!
That brings us to the impossible perfect fit frisbee shot. First of all, I was constantly being swarmed by bees. They basically just circled me for the entire 13 hours that I attempted this. Maybe animals just love trick shots because a duck became obsessed with my rock skipping later in the video. I designed the frisbee target out of cardboard and my father-in-law built it for me. While he was building it, I attempted a different trick shot and accidentally made one of the craziest impossible odds of the entire video. This didn't just happen once, but twice, and then finally I accomplished what I came for and managed to get the balls down.
And I caught the ball.
If you've ever played tennis, you might have accidentally gotten the ball stuck in the racket. Well, I'm trying to do it on purpose. I scored this nearly impossible shot in only 40 minutes thanks to the help of my wife's siblings. That's crazy fast, considering level 1, the shot that was supposed to be the easiest in the video, took Matthew 3 hours. Many shots turned out to be easier, including the shuffleboard shot, the pool table cup shot, the tree shot, the net shot, and this ping pong bounce shot. Don't get me wrong, every one of these was difficult. Level 1 was just weirdly brutal. I even made level 55 in only 3 attempts. With the easy shots out of the way, all we had left were the true 1 in a million shots, which brings us back to the impossible perfect fit frisbee shot. Once the target was complete, I was lucky enough to get the frisbee to simply ride along the ball. Behind me was a busy trail, so people kept walking past and wondering what in the world I was doing. This guy snapped a selfie, and this guy was so amazed that he gave me his phone so I could subscribe to our channel for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna share y'all, bro. Keep this up.
We've been trying this shot for hours upon hours upon hours. I've hit the target literally probably over 35 times. You're not gonna believe this. Somehow the frisbee missed the cardboard and it went into the target, but we weren't filming because that looked like just a blooper miss.
I did capture the shot on a second angle, but I really wanted that first camera view, so I redid it. For all I knew, this could take another 13 hours, but it literally only took 9 more minutes. With that incredibly difficult shot complete, my wife had a great idea. Smash a record with a baseball. It's a play on words, you can break a world record. But I was quite literally breaking a physical record.
I definitely smashed the record, but not really how I want to.
I quickly realized that the only satisfying way to actually smash one was to hit it dead center. I could break the records, but the hits never looked quite right. I kept scoring, just not in the way I wanted to. That meant 3 separate trips to Goodwill where I bought a few records at a time for $2.99 each. I knew putting my phone in the potential impact zone was risky, but hey, anything for the shot. Thankfully, it survived this one, but just wait until you see what happens to it during the next trick shot. So this ended up being the winning record, so I apologize to anyone searching for a Sing and Learn reading readiness record. Its sacrifice will not be forgotten. A lot of the time, we come up with a viral idea before we have the skill to pull it off. But I've discovered that you can make incredible progress at almost any skill with just 15 minutes of practice a day. For an entire summer, I woke up at 6 a.m., skipped rocks for 15 minutes, ran home, and practiced handstands for another 15 minutes. You don't need to be naturally gifted to learn something amazing. I can tell you that there's been countless times when I've worked hard at something and felt like I've made no progress. But sometimes growth can be so slow that you don't even notice it until months or years later. That's why I love telling stories that show consistency and perseverance lead to things that will make you say, "That's amazing." I literally spent a few $100s buying rocks meant for skipping. We would reach deep into the water and pull them out by hand because buying another 200 rocks every afternoon felt like a pretty questionable financial strategy. I also made friends with a duck that loved swimming directly into my throwing path. Just when I thought it would pass, it would stop and sit right there. I would patiently wait for it to pass, start skipping again, and it would turn around and come straight back. At some point, it felt like the entire pond had joined forces to stop this trick shot.
Oh my goodness.
But eventually, the pond cleared, and I only had 8 rocks left, so every shot was incredibly important. My friend Mitchell from Vortex Trick Shots helped film.
It's been a long 9 days, 8 left today. I don't know what the plan is if we don't make it here.
You don't understand how impossible this felt. It's such a far shot, I wasn't even getting close, and if I missed these 8 rocks, I would have to spend another $150 to buy more, and then wait a week for them to ship.
2 more.
On my second to last rock, this happened.
Ha! What a skip! Do not give up, and we're going to the next level.
Oh! What are you trying to do?
Mom, basically, I'm replacing the first one, and then that one's going and replacing the second.
And then it's supposed to stand?
It's all about the glide. It's all about the glide. Yes! Wait, no way! The red thing is barely there. Are you kidding me?
If Matthew thought this shot was hard, he's in for a real treat with the anti-gravity shot coming up.
Yes! I had 2 minutes left on the camera and I just did it. Boom!
For this one, I cut a water bottle in half, then balanced it so that it looked completely normal. This was one of the hardest shots to score. It took 13 hours and I completely shattered my phone in the process. Shout out to Matt from First Try on YouTube for helping me make this shot. I have no idea how, but this phone still works, and we even used it to film the ring shot. I don't even remember how I came up with this idea. Some trick shots just pop into my head, and others come about from a much cooler process, which you'll see in the anti-gravity shot coming up. But first, we discovered that if you kick 2 soccer balls in exactly the right way, one pops into the air, while the other rolls along the ground. As you guys know, we make almost every trick shot either inside our house or at a local park. But our friends at MFC Sports let us use their amazing soccer facility for this one, and the Marquette Annex let us use their bowling alley for another impossible perfect fit shot. I built this obstacle specifically to avoid damaging the lane or the ball, and I used a tarp to let the ball through safely. On my first attempt, I nearly scored, but for the shot to count, the ball has to pass perfectly through the slot. Now for the story on how we broke physics. So Matthew's trying to make a ping pong ball appear to defy gravity, then drop perfectly into another cup. We spent the first 20 minutes trying to toss the ball in from only an inch away with almost no success. Only when the ball hit at the right angle and speed could the spinning wall catch it, because there was enough friction to pull the ball into circular motion. And then the ball still had to drop into another cup. That's a complicated way of saying this trick shot was almost impossible. In fact, we spent a full day attempting this, most of the time missing the first target completely. But on the rare occasion that we did score, suddenly time slowed down, we'd hold our breaths, and anxiously await to see where the ball would end up. The original idea for this shot looked completely different. I thought it would be really cool to cut a cup in half, put it on a drill, and see if spinning it super fast would allow it to catch a ping pong ball. Every time I tried, the ball flew out the sides, which got me thinking, what if I just cut the bottom out of the tube and spun it really fast? Maybe then the ball would stay. Sure enough, my hypothesis was correct. So I grabbed a chip container I found in my pantry, some string, and a camera tripod. I wrapped duct tape around the container to add weight so it could spin fast enough. Can we call this the That's Amazing Law of Physics or something? Because I'm really proud of this one. And it's also a perfect example of how failure, like my original idea, is sometimes just part of the journey. In fact, we failed all day until dinner, where we usually end our workday. But Matthew went out of his way to try for another 30 minutes. Without that extra effort, we might never have scored. Imagine how difficult it was to try to pin a boomerang to our custom-built bullseye. Have you ever seen a setup for our channel this good? The craziest part is that we nearly made it on our very first warm-up attempt, except the dart didn't stick in the bullseye. That alone shows why this was truly a 1 in a million shot. But over the years, Matthew and I have attempted so many dart trick shots that I think you're actually watching us become good at darts in real time. And the red bullseye was actually a cork for a candle in my mom's bathroom, so sorry Mom. After 60 bullseyes from Matthew, we made the shot in only 4 hours. Just follow us for a second. Yeah, this is what we're hiding behind our setup. This part over here looks nice because my wife organized it, as you'll see in this next level.
Will you marry me?
Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, and my favorite trick shot of all time, throwing a ring onto my wife's finger. As soon as we got engaged, people started jokingly asking whether I was going to trick shot the ring under her hand. So naturally, I did. We found a beautiful location and she patiently held out her hand for hours while I missed over and over again.
Contact is bouncing off my nail.
During the attempt, I landed rings on several of her other fingers, but it would only count if I landed one perfectly on her ring finger.
Wrong finger.
So, did I break the ring? Unfortunately, yes. But thankfully, we used cheap rings from Target. This is her real wedding ring, and if I would have broken that, it would have been a much more difficult conversation. And to everyone who watches, likes, and subscribes, thank you. Your support is the reason we get to do this for a living. It has given us the chance to keep making these videos while building our family. Where that's amazing, thanks for watching.